Om Shanti and good morning. So yesterday we were listening to Baba's Murli of 27th April 1972, and we will continue with that Murli today. Baba yesterday spoke about how to become lucky and lovely. He went on to say that there are three main characteristics that make us both lovely and lucky. He also said that while we are lucky, we also need to be lovely. And while we are lovely, we also need to be lucky. The three things that we need to possess or have to be able to be lucky and lovely both at the same time, Baba said, was being knowledgeful, careful, and cheerful. And Baba also reiterated that it's not just having knowledge, but being full of knowledge. And he explained what that means, what knowledgeful means. And he said it means that, whenever you are doing any action or thinking any thoughts, you should think from the scope of knowledge. Nothing should happen which is not part of knowledge. And the knowledge of who we are, whom we belong to the Father, and the drama. These three things, he said, if you are full of this knowledge all the time, and the connection doesn't break, that is when you will be considered to be knowledgeful. Then Baba spoke about being cheerful. He said that when we are knowledgeful, we are automatically cheerful. And when we are cheerful, we automatically are careful as well. Or it can be the other way around. If we are careful, we'll automatically be cheerful. He also said that in Gyan, when you are careful, doesn't mean you become serious. The more careful you are, the more cheerful you become. So here, cheerful does not mean careless. Careful means cheerful. That is what I think is a special thing that Baba wanted to call out in this Murli that we were reading yesterday. For cheerful, Baba also said that in the end, or even otherwise, the main seva that we have, right, is as bestowers, is as helpers of Baba. So that cheerful face when others are going through different problems and we are always cheerful, that cheerful face automatically does seva. Because people run from when they are going through so many problems from the atmosphere, they automatically run towards shelter. And that shelter is that cheerful face. It becomes a magnet which attracts everybody to it. And that is how the seva happens. Right? And then Baba had moved on to being careful. And he went on to say what being careful means. So what we'll do is we'll just go through a little bit before the end of the paragraph, just to create that connection. Yeah, just a little bit. Where Baba starts talking about being careful. Yeah, this is okay. So Baba says, you have to remain careful, but what must you remain careful in mainly? What do we need to be careful of as Baba's children? In what aspects do you remain careful? Then Many different replies were given. But Baba said, what is sung, what did Baba care about so that he became what he did? What was Baba's most important thing that he cared for? What main aspect was that? Describe fully the praise that is sung of you people, complete with all virtues, Sola Kala Sampur, Sampur Nirvikari, Maryada Purushottam. It's towards the end of the paragraph system. So Baba says, complete with all virtues, 16 celestial degrees, and completely wiseless, and those who follow the highest code of conduct. Those who follow the highest code of conduct are the ones who are Maryada Purushottam. That is what Baba says, is sung of all of you souls. Maryada Purushottam, the ones who follow the highest code of conduct. Baba says, you only become careless when you disobey any of the codes of conduct. Can anybody think of Lord Rama being careless in his code of conduct? He's considered to be Maryada Purushottam. The whole of his life, he has lived within the Maryadas. How to be a good son, how to be a good husband, how to be a good student, how to be a good king. The code of conduct. There is a conduct for every act that we do. The Baba goes on to say, the praise is of your complete stage. That is, Sita was given an instruction to remain within the line of code of conduct drawn for her. When Lakshman was going, he asked Sita to remain within that boundary, not cross that boundary, that line. It was not any other line, but the line of code of conduct, the Lakshman Rekha, which we call. It's nothing, it's an imaginary line, but it's the line of code of conduct. If you go beyond the line of godly code of conducts, you become a beggar. That is, you become a beggar of whatever attainment there is. It's a matter of 1 microsecond that we decide either to go this way or to go that way. But that microsecond has so much of effect on us, it can make us a beggar if we go the wrong way. And not a beggar of money. Baba says a beggar of whatever attainment there is. It could be peace, give me love, give me, or begging from Baba. Baba says you become a beggar and you cry out just like a beggar does. Give me a little bit money, give me some clothes. In the same way, the stage of those who go beyond the line of code of conduct becomes like a beggar, becomes like that of a beggar. It's the stage that Baba is talking about. When Baba's children go outside that code of conduct, the first thing that comes is we start asking. In a very subtle manner, we ask Baba, Baba, please help me. Baba, please be with me. Baba, please get me through this. Those kind of things we start saying when we don't follow the code of conduct. And Baba will go on to explain this further, and we'll move on. So Baba is saying, what will they say? They would say, have mercy, give me blessing, give me cooperation, give me love. We will start asking from Baba and from our peers. They don't give me love. They don't like me. They are not giving me the opportunities. That's how a beggar will speak. So it means that they have become beggars, asking for themselves. But when you have a right, then that is called being a child and a master. When you have a right, no matter how important your father will be, it'll just be your father, and you'll feel right on everything that they have. You'll not have to ask for it. You become the child, and by becoming the child, you also become the master. If you're dependent, you have to ask for something. Those who are asking for something can only be called beggars. So let's look into our subtle subconscious and see if we are asking Baba or if we command what we need. It's a very subtle thing. So this is the line of codes of conduct. And if you go beyond it, you become a beggar. Then you have to ask for help. Once you become a beggar, then you have to ask for help from Baba to bring you back into that line of code of conduct. In fact, all those who have become Baba's children are lucky and lovely. They themselves are helpers in the godly task, not the ones who seek the help. Master bestowers, helpers in the godly task. That's our stage. That is what Baba expects us to become, helpers in godly service. There is the image of you having become the helpers. It is not of the ones who are seeking help. And when we go to temples, what is the image? The image is that of helping God and helping others, but not of asking for help. The image of the Bhagats is just that of asking for something. Those who are the children and the masters are constant helpers. They are constantly helping. It's not like, oh, today I'm helping, tomorrow I ask for help. No, it has to be constant. The children and the masters, they are constant helpers. How would it look if somebody who's the son of a big king is asking for some help? No, it's against their dignity, against their respect to ask for help. Those who themselves are the helpers cannot ask for any help. Once we were with Shilu Didi, and she was saying that Baba had gone to Nepal. Okay. And in Nepal, he had met the king there at that time. The king and the queens were there in Nepal. And Baba had given a gift to the king of Nepal. This is before he came into Gyan. And Baba's experiences, when he offered that gift, the king, he did not pick it up. He just kept his hand on that gift, and then he asked his assistant or his secretary to take that gift inside. As a sign of respect, he just put the hand on it, but he did not take it, So that is how dignified kings and queens and their children are. They will not take anything from anyone. They are the ones who are the givers to everyone in that community, right? So Sheila Didi told us that this is how the king and queen used to think. So imagine the ones who are going to become kings and queens and their family members in Satyug, which is the bestest of the best. How should they behave? So that's why Baba is saying, you are caregivers, you are constant helpers, because you are children and the masters. Those who themselves are the helpers cannot ask for any help. They are the ones who give, not the ones who take. And mind it, we cannot take anything from anyone. We are not needy. Whatever we need, Baba will give us. A bestower never takes. A bestower is the one who gives. And our title is Master Bestowers. So consider yourself to belong to the one Father. That is, consider yourself to be the true Sita of Ram, and take care to stay within the line of code of conduct. And then you will remain careful. So what we need to be careful of? That I am in the line of code of conduct. And what is the easy way to be careful? Just to remember whom I belong to. Till the time Sita is with Ram, she is so protected. The moment she crosses that line, she becomes completely exposed and completely, helpless. Baba goes on to say, those who are careful will automatically become cheerful. So you should have all the maryadas in your intellect. I'm sure all of us have gone through the list of the maryadas that we have as in the Brahmin family. If not, there is a book. Ideally, it should be in there, all the centers. But if you're not able to find it, you'll find it in Madhuban. There is a complete book that has been written of the code of conduct of Brahmins. It's a list of what our do's and don'ts, right? Or basically the dincharya that Baba has given, starting from morning till we go to sleep in the night. What is the code of conduct of true Brahmins? So look for it. Okay. Baba goes on to speak. So as Baba said, that people who are careful will automatically be cheerful. So you should have all the maryadas in your intellect. You should have clear knowledge of what maryadas you have to have in all the actions that you perform from morning till the night. What I should do, what I should not do, what I can eat, what I cannot eat, what I can take, what I cannot take, what I can think, what I cannot think. Initially, it takes some time, but when you get deeper into knowledge, it automatically emerges in your mind, the code of conduct, because your subconscious starts telling you this is right and this is not right. When we are into soul consciousness, we automatically start doing things which are in relation to the soul and not in relation to the body. Right? So code of conduct automatically starts emerging in the soul as we go deeper and deeper into the knowledge. If you do not have that knowledge, then you cannot be careful either. What is right? What is wrong? What is the code of conduct? If we do not have that knowledge, then we cannot be careful. Therefore, consider yourself to be Sita and remain within this line. That is, those who are careful and remain within the line of the code of conduct can become the most elevated human beings. It's a very important line. Those who are careful and remain within the line of the code of conduct can become the most elevated human beings just by being within the code of conduct. This is the most difficult. Others find it so difficult. And for us, Baba has made it so easy that we become elevated human beings. When you see that you are not cheerful, you must definitely have disobeyed the code of conduct. So this is a sign that we are following the code of conduct or not following. When you see that you are not cheerful, that is the sign of disobeying of the code of conduct. You have also been given a maryada for your thoughts. You must not even have any waste thoughts. No? Why? What? Why this happened? Where is this going? No, everything is, Baba said, nothing doing, no waste thoughts. If you go beyond this line and have wasteful or sinful thoughts, then you should realize that you have disobeyed the maryada of thoughts. And this is why you are not cheerful. So if you are thinking from the level of knowledge, you will realize that, today something happened which was not as per the code of conduct. I should not have done that. I should not have thought like that. Baba says, in the same way, you have been given a maryada for your words. So there is a maryada of thoughts. There is a maryada for words. Of what words to speak, whilst having stabilized yourself in a particular stage. So what words we should speak? We should only speak positive. We should only speak something which is going to help others and otherwise not speak at all. That is what Baba said. If there is a disobedience in your words, then also you cannot remain cheerful. Your own wasteful and sinful thoughts bring you down from your stage of being cheerful because you have crossed the line of code of conduct. It's so simple, yet so difficult. So if we are careful, we'll automatically be cheerful. And what brings us down? Our own wasteful and sinful thoughts, negative or waste thoughts. If you keep yourself within the line of code of conduct, then Ravan or Maya, that is, no obstacle will have the courage to come within this line of the code of conduct. Obstacles will not feel like obstacles. Nothing will be able to stop you if you are within the code of conduct. When any obstacle, storm, disturbance, or unhappiness comes, you should understand that you have moved the foot of your intellect outside the line of the code of conduct. Another sign, if we are facing lots of obstacles, storms, disturbances, or unhappiness. These are not the normal obstacles, but obstacles of the mind or the intellect. Something stopping us from achieving our best. Any storms that we continuously feel inside, when we feel unhappy, when we feel something is not right, we should understand that we have moved the foot of our intellect outside the line of the code of conduct. Just as Sita stepped beyond the line. The intellect is also a foot on which you go on the pilgrimage. Bhavas, this is just a lovely line. The intellect is that foot with which we go on the internal pilgrimage. In yesterday's Murli, Baba spoke about pilgrimage, right? And this is a pilgrimage. You are always a pilgrim as Baba's child. So our intellect is also a foot on which we go on to this pilgrimage. When you move the foot of the intellect out of the line of the code of conduct, then all these things come in front of you. And what do they make you? From being lovely and lucky, you are made into a beggar. When the foot of our intellect goes out of the code of conduct. The sign of becoming a beggar is that you will ask for support from the Father or other souls. This is the sign of becoming a beggar. We'll ask for Father to support us. We'll ask for other souls to support us. Give us something, ask us, keep us informed, keep us involved. Your own treasures of the powers will finish. It is said to become a beggar by going beyond the line. So the powerful stage of those who become beggars like this finishes. We all would have observed this sometime or the other. When we do something which we should not do, suddenly our powerful stage, it gets diminished. And then we struggle to come back on that powerful stage. Baba goes on to say, they may continue to speak the knowledge and continue to make the effort, but they will be like beggars. There's so much of difference. They will not have the intoxication or the power of their own attainment. Underline. On the path of bhakti also, there are those who become beggars by going out of the line. So those who cross the line of the code of conduct become both types of beggars. And therefore, you must never become a beggar. You are the emperors of those who become the emperors of the world at this time. Emperors of emperors. You speak of the kings of the kings. So the stage of when, or the stage of being knowledgeful, so the stage of when you become that is known as being the king of kings. But the stage of being a Brahmin at the present time, or the stage of being knowledgeful directly through the Father, is more elevated. Baba says that, when we talk about kings of kings, so the emperors of this time, you are the emperors of those emperors also who are emperors of this time. This means even today's kings and queens and the emperor, wherever they are, whichever, they are also asking for help from their gods or angels, right? But you become kings of kings. And Baba goes on to say, but being a Brahmin, the stage of being a Brahmin at this time, the stage of being knowledgeable and taking that knowledge directly through the Father, it's much more elevated than just being kings of kings. So imagine. So it doesn't seem right to let go of such a stage and to become a beggar, forgetting the Father. So check in your every thought and action. That is, take the case that you do not step outside. Take care, okay? So it doesn't seem right. Check in your every thought and action. That is, take the care that you do not step outside. From today onwards, make yourself the human beings who follow the highest code of conduct. This is the only edge we have over others. That we, as human beings, follow the highest code of conduct to conduct our lives. Okay? We cannot let this edge go. The moment this edge goes away, that's what Baba said, we become like others. To such intense effort makers who make themselves into the most elevated human beings with the highest code of conduct, to the knowledgeful, careful, cheerful, and elevated souls. Namaste. Okay. Such beautiful Murli Baba has spoken. So I think we will hold on here. It was a short Murli, very small one. We will give 1 minute to just churn and think, and 1 minute of silence before we start discussing and churning today's small Murli. We can combine yesterday's and today's both Murlis and can churn. So we will give 1 minute of silence. Okay. Okay. So we repeated a part of yesterday's Murli and then we went on to today's Murli just to create that link. So anybody would want to share their thoughts, churnings?
Om Shanti. A wonderful
Shanti,
Murli
brother.
who teaches us to be the king of the kings and how to be an intense effort maker. What are intense effort maker will be knowledgeful. These are the takeaways for me. Being knowledgeful, careful, and the more I am knowledgeable, I will know where to apply care, where to be careful, and the more I am careful in my thoughts, the thoughts and words should not cross the line of the code of the conduct. Then I'll be cheerful. I'll always have that intoxication and the power of my own attainments from Baba. And my stage will be elevated. And then this is what Baba says, bestower's child, master bestower. I always be the king of the kings. That stage. Om Shanti.
Very true. Baba says, knowledgeful, so careful, careful, so cheerful. And Baba also explained each of these stages. And then he created that link. So that's how Baba always does, right? In his Murlis. He gives
Yes.
something as an introduction, and then he links everything together and gives an end to it. Yes, brother.
And I'll be checking today that unknowingly or unknowingly, I should not become a beggar. I want peace, I want happiness, I want this, I want this. It is with
Mm,
me from Baba. If I'm not attaining it from Baba, then it's like a beggar. I'm looking outwards. So it is inside, it's within me from Baba. So that checking I shall do today as a homework. Om Shanti.
yes, very nice. Anyone else? Any other thoughts?
Shanti, sister. Good morning.
Om Shanti.
Baba clearly today clarifies again what specifically he means to be the code of conduct. And that is at the level of thoughts, right from the thoughts of soul consciousness to stepping into thoughts of body consciousness. One would lose their track of being eternally happy, peaceful, those basic good seven qualities, right? In that instance, people would again go and search for it. And that's when they would ask to regain all those and become, in turn, a beggar. So I could find that link again today. And I would take home and check my thoughts in detail every time, whether I am in this side or on that side. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, Baba said, what is the way of checking those thoughts? The checking is, even you don't want to check, automatically that checking will happen, because we will come down from our powerful stage automatically. And somewhere the obstacles, the storms, instead of feeling like nothing, they will start feeling to be very big. Right? So the storms of Ravan and Maya, that means that we have crossed that line of conduct and we have gone towards Ravan or Maya. And now we are feeling like we are stuck. Especially with Brahmins, this happens a lot. So that's the biggest checking that we should do. And we need to backtrack our steps, when this happens, that where did I go wrong? And when did I go wrong? What should I have not done that I have done? That checking is what Baba keeps talking about.
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
Yeah, I even like the link, I always like this word lucky and lovely, because whenever Bap Dada used to address us, when he comes down, he used to call us lucky sitari, lovely sitari. And I always used to like those kind of, the way he addresses us. Like even in yesterday, if you see, Baba just didn't say sweet children, he said sweet beloved children. So whenever Baba gives us this title, I loved it. And yesterday he told us, have you created your own fortune? You are a fortune maker. He explained to us about that. He also told about like the KCC. He spoke about knowledgeful. He said, what are the scope or the syllabus or the curriculum of knowledge I should have? And then he touched upon cheerful. But if you see, this cheerful is the result of me being careful. Cheerful is the reward which I'm going to get in the end of attracting people towards me as a means of safety. But uske liye, the most important ingredient was careful. That's why yesterday when I had asked about how do I know I'm careful. So when you were just reading the Murli about careful, the code of conduct, and Sita, how from 16 degrees it became 14 degrees, what were the 2 degrees which were lost. I then remember we all have these code of conducts in our daily murlis. Like in
Correct.
every murli, Baba says, Dukh nahi dena, kam bolo, meetha bolo, neat bolo. So all these are just snippets of Srimad. So if at least I stick to like whatever Abhyakt Murli was read in the morning, as well as my daily breakfast, my Sakar Murli, and if I list out, there are a lot of Maryadas, at least for that day, if I am able to follow those Maryadas that day, because probably for that day, Baba has given that, then I think I will be on line of the conduct. Okay, I will be an emperor, but that is to see that I am in line of my code of conduct. This is what I like to find out what Maryada Baba speaks in everyday Murlis. Because instead of these kind of, as I told you, these snippets of Srimats are there everywhere. Instead of going to the main and going through all those 108 points and saying, Baba has made it so easy by just Aaj ki Murli mein, what did Baba say for Maryada? I think I'm going to concentrate now on the Murlis, which really to see how do I become careful. So that one aim, I become a shelter for people who are looking for safety.
Yes, very nicely put, Sister Kirja. I think that's the only way for us to stay in line. Baba keeps saying in the Murlis also, he explains. Many children think this is how it is done. Many children think that, but no, it is done like this. And he also goes on to a very subtle level of thoughts, especially if you combine, like we do, the Sakar Murlis with the Avyakt ones, right? The Sakar will give you more code of conducts on actions, but Avyakt will give you a lot of code of conduct on our thoughts, right? How elevated our thoughts need to be, how we need to behave in what situation, everything Baba has given. That's why he calls it a course, right? That the course is complete. Now it's a revision course, which means all the codes of conducts that can be there in every situation, somewhere or the other, Baba has spoken those. It is for us now to do that study continuously and keep imbibing those code of conducts in our subconscious to the effect or to the impact that whenever we are doing, it comes from a source of knowledge. That's why he said, care. So cheerful you become when you're careful, and you become careful when you operate from the source of knowledge. Who am I? Whom do I belong to? Very nice. Anyone else?
Om Shanti, sister.
Shanti.
So this line, those who are asking for something can only be called beggars. So the word beggar explains a lot actually. So in physical world also, who begs? Those who don't have. And who can give? Those who have. Right. So the difference is here that which Baba is teaching us is like physical things you start giving in this materialistic world, it may run out. Right. But here, what we have to give is the subtle things. And Papa teaches that the more we give, it accumulates, it increases our stock, right? So that too by staying in the code of contact. And if you go beyond it, then you become a beggar. That happens, like you said, in a fraction of a second.
Yes.
Shanti, thank you.
Thank you, Pujit Bhai. Yes, very true. So this is just a matter of a second, very, very subtle. Yes, Girija sister.
But even though that word beggar, whenever Baba mentions it, it really makes me, why is my father referring? So I like that other line which Baba, which he says, he heard my voice or something. He said, you are helpers, not bhagats. So I like that word bhagat better than a beggar. Bhagats always keep asking. So when Baba said, yes, Baba, say the bhagat is a better word than a beggar, Baba. Beggar makes me as if you are my father. Why should I go? I will come and steal from you. So, okay, the word bhagat, पूछ के लेना मेरे, even if you're taking, father says, no, do लेना है मेरे pocket से पूछ के लेना. Okay, that word bhagat. So even though that word beggar, when Baba said bhagat, I liked, probably thought, oh, there are some egoistic children who don't like the word beggar. And all. So I like that word, you are helpers, not bhagats.
Very nice. Yeah, sometimes Baba says these words to make us realize, that what it means to come down from your stage, what impact it brings along, you know. But yeah, bhagats is also very. It's a synonym that we use in our gyan for somebody who's asking. So yeah, very true. Anyone else? Okay.
Om Shanti. There's a
Yes, Ami
message
sister.
by Balwinder ji that she has mentioned in the chat box that Baba, yes, I'm a new student. I do not know where to get the code of conduct for thoughts, words, action. I always ask you or other sister, Baba, please help me. Baba, be with me today. And I realized I'm a beggar, but I want to become an obedient child. This is a message from Balwinder ji.
Yes, sister. So, Sister Girija also mentioned that we should keep Murlis as our source of information, and wherever we have written anything about code of conduct has come from the Murlis only. So, if we read our Murli every day, and I am sure you're also going through this Avyak Murli churning later, and if you listen to that Sakar Murli, which Girija sister referred to as breakfast, and take out points for yourself, which will help you and which you need to remember and maybe churn the whole day. That is the code of conduct, actually. There's nothing else in the code of conduct. And the best thing is to, when as a starter, as a beginner, is to continue to feel the relationship with Baba. What does Baba want me to do? Who is he to me? And who am I to him? That relationship building, when it will happen and when the soul will accept completely that this is my father, you will feel connected and you will start getting those pointers. Baba will start touching you with what should be done in what case and what not, to the effect that, in case you're spending too much time on one exercise or one thing which you should not, inside you'll get a touching, no, I should come out of this and move on. And as Girja's sister also has mentioned, there are 108 points of Srimad that are there that can be downloaded. So it's no rocket science. It's very, very simple, very easy. Actually, Murli is something that should be personalized. It's something that can be personalized to our needs, our requirement, our understanding, our relationship with Baba. So for every different soul, Brahmin soul, the Murli is different. So I have to find out what I need to take from the Murli as the code of conduct. And you will slowly and steadily get the hang of it. I hope that helps. Okay, great. So we will do our meditation for 1 minute.
Excuse me, Shivani Ben, there's a announcement for on Sunday session. Can I do?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this Sunday we have Vaishali Ben who will be conducting this session, and she'll be doing the Murli Manthan of this week, all the 3 Murlis dated. Is it Murli dated of 15th March 1972, 2nd April, and 27th April. So I request all of you to go through this Murli so that we can churn on this Murli. Om Shanti.
Thank you, my sister. Okay. So let's internalize the Murli that we just went through. Look at yourself as that lovely, beautiful, lucky star. And imagine yourself to be closest to the Father. I am such fortunate soul who at the end of this kalpa has got the opportunity to be with the Father. I cherish this relationship and this connection with the Supreme Soul, whom I call my Baba. Whom I have looked for in the last 2500 years. Today he is my own. It's like a lottery for me. My personal Sadguru, my personal teacher, my closest friend, and my confidant. I don't need anything else. What I have looked for is in front of me. And all I want is to cherish this relationship with him. My sweet father and mother. He's here to give me love and affection that I have been longing for. He's fulfilling me and in turn making me lovely and lucky. Who in the whole world, in the whole kalpa, would have a better fortune than me? He's made me so elevated. He has made me sit in his lap and loved me like a long lost child. And he showers his blessings, his love, his knowledge, his understanding at all times on me. He's like a personal vault from where I can take whatever I want, whenever I want. No questions asked. Today, I will cherish this connection with my Father, that I belong to Him and He to me. And remember my fortune. Om Shanti.
Om
Thank you.
Shanti. Thank you, Shivani Ben. Thank you, all of you. Have a blissful day, and we shall meet tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till then, have a good day.
Om Shanti.